the actual video, and then I'm like, oh, it looks normal. But when you're looking at like a still of it, it's like, what's happening?
Yeah, something happens with Instagram where it feels like, oh, make sure the mic is next to my mouth. Hello, welcome to the show. It feels like a lot of times when I'm on Instagram and I'm trying to do something and I post it, there's a whitening aspect. Like, you really want to whiten all of us in a weird...
It's either that or it's saturated.
Or super saturated.
Super saturated.
Yeah, Dexter and I are talking about how we want to have filters where we get to still look black and just have better lighting. I saw this girl who looks so different from her filter. She's now giving me a phobia where I make it a point. I will not use a filter if I don't recognize myself. If I can't look like that in real life, I refuse to use it.
Well, I think that's a good guide, just in general. Like
Right?
that's how you should approach any filter. Like
If me with makeup on and a good night's rest can't look like the filter,
then don't do it.
That's not my filter. That's a different
Don't do
bitch.
it.
Like, who is she?
Don't do it.
Anyways, guys, I hope you heard the voices. I hope your sound is good. Kaden, is the sound good? Perfect.
I told him I project, so we're good.
Oh, you're bombastic just like me. Bombastic side eye.
Very.
I
bombastic.
actually am excited about you being here, and even though you're my friend in real life, I actually pulled up your bio.
Oh my God, no!
I'm gonna go do like a paragraph. Don't worry. Okay. Dexter Mayfield is a plus-size model, actor, and dancer who has worked with the likes of Jennifer Lopez, Katy Perry, and the Taylor Swift. He's known for breaking barriers in fashion and Hollywood as one of the few black plus-size gay men to walk the runway at LA Fashion Week in 2015. Mayfield has also appeared in commercials for Target and in the How to Train Your Dragon Live spectacular. In 2022, he was a judge on Paramount Plus's dance competition show, Come Dance With Me. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my friend Dexter Mayfield. Yay! How did you feel?
I cringe every time. It's so weird. It's almost imposter syndrome, but it's not, because it can't be imposter syndrome because I actually did it.
Yeah, you here.
Exactly.
It's so funny, too, because when somebody reads my bio, I'm always like,
Same.
I just stare at the camera like...
You literally, I was just like...
We're on a dating show. Blue Telusma is looking for a man who likes to walk in the beach. Like, it's funny because people who really love what they do don't sit around thinking about their accolades or their accomplishments. They're always like, oh my God, I'm so grateful. What's next, right?
Exactly.
The folks who do one thing and want to sit there like, you're not gonna clap for me now. I did that one thing. Yeah, we're gonna get into it.
If I had glasses, they would come on.
Yeah,
right
we're gonna
now.
get into it. We're gonna get into it. All right, first we're gonna do some hot topics, Dex.
Yes. There's so many right now.
There's so many. The one that I want to approach is probably the tamest one.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the tame one first.
Ease it in.
Let's ease it in. Kiki Palmer recently had an interview with Olandrea and Shelly. Yes, guys, it's been about 3 minutes and we're already talking about Love Island. Just let it go, okay? If you don't watch Love Island, it's okay. I don't watch the sports ball, but when I listen to a podcast and they want to talk about sports ball, I listen to that part while I'm cooking until they move on to something else.
Exactly.
All right, so for the people who are saying, Blue, it's your fault that I started watching Love Island, now me and my therapist are arguing about it, I apologize. Although I feel like we need to get paid. All of us who have created this fervor around Love Island, how many times has someone said to you, I'm only watching Love Island because you won't shut up about it?
I have a direct line. Hi, Ariana. I love you, Buki. Mwah.
The Ariana Maddox. Yeah.
So run it up. Run it up.
But we would like a commission.
Yes.
Because the amount of people that we have brought directly to watch Love Island.
True.
So the Kiki's interview, for those of you who don't know, Kiki Palmer is, well, if you don't know.
Kiki Palmer.
If you don't know Kiki Palmer, probably
It's your girl.
There's nobody watching my show who doesn't know who Kiki Palmer is. So I take that back. Kiki, first of her name, I apologize. And Kiki's following me now on Twitter.
Listen.
I love that because
when she's in the conversation, she pays attention.
Yeah, and I actually appreciate that, right?
Yeah.
Because she started following me when I was discussing
the things
in her life. Kiki started following me when she was the topic, which made me feel like, okay, so you felt like I handled it responsibly enough for you to let me know that you know I exist.
She said that's T-Boo.
I appreciate that because I really had a lot of strong things to say. Shocking.
It was a strong situation to talk about.
Shocking, I know. Shout out to all the Virgos out there. You know I love you, even though I think being a Virgo is a plight.
Virgo moon.
It's me too. I considered it a little bit of a disability. No offense to the Virgos. Having a Virgo moon is why I fact check like it's a part of a condition, right?
Listen, you got to.
Somebody said whenever I fact check, they get scared. You should. So back to Kiki. ADHD is sponsoring this episode. Back to Kiki. Did you watch the Olandria and Shelley interview with Kiki?
I watched all of it.
Wow, that's a big statement.
In its entirety.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
From the Ruta to the Tuda.
I'm a person who needs context.
Thank you, friend.
Like, every single conversation needs context.
Yeah.
And the second it came out, I already saw slice the clip here, slice the clip here. You know how the people do. You know how the people, and specifically the trolls, do. And I believe it was a great start interview. Mm-hmm. I feel that, one, they shouldn't have let as much time go by. Because for some reason, every pod is in real time right now, which kudos to whoever's
here's the thing. I
teams.
think Kiki wanted to stick to her schedule.
Yeah.
So and I had the same feedback. I was like, Kiki, why are you announcing this and then making us wait like 96 hours? That's not how this works, right?
Yeah.
Because the bloodlust was so severe. But here's the thing about Kiki. She had a production schedule that she wouldn't let us pull her away from. It was brave. It was brave.
Just right now, specifically with how the discourse over this season, specifically of Love Island, is, it just maybe missed the mark slightly.
I agree.
The energy of the actual interview and the actual questions and the conversation they had, absolutely beautiful, spot on, great. Mm-hmm. Nice way to ease the girls into this new, life, this whole new world where you're in the public eye and people will pay attention to every single thing that you do. I do feel that a lot of things could have been a bit more transparent. Mm-hmm. And I think for me, and this is just me, because I am Nicolandria Hive.
Ew.
All day, every day. Am I a Shelley Hive? I'm Shelley Hive. Mm-hmm. I'm very Shelley Hive. And I think that right now, there's one thing that's kind of missing specifically from Shelley's perspective, and it's, yes, you have your lived experience in the villa. You know exactly what went down, how it went down, in real time. You know your perspective. You need to understand how the producers, specifically the producers, presented your experience, because it's a little different, and it opens up so much discourse for people to chime in on things that you're completely not aware of.
That's the part that I think is so important, and I love that you pulled that out.
Yeah.
I will say this. Kiki Palmer understands her brand. She understands her voice.
100%.
And she also understands what value she brings. Kiki did an excellent job being Kiki in her interview. So in the interview,
100%.
It was wholesome, it was honest, it was, I'm your girl, right? It was very much in that vein. And so I think for Kiki being Kiki, it was she hit it out the ballpark.
Exactly.
I think the issue is you don't go to the grocery store looking for tires, unless you're at Walmart. Like, you go places for what they actually sell.
Exactly.
The bloodlust, the tell it like it is, the take off your wig and shame the devil that we are all yearning for and we're hoping to get from Kiki, but in retrospect, we had no business doing so.
Yeah.
I think would have been better served with Wendy Williams. I think what we're missing right now is we need a Wendy Williams-esque interview with Shelley and Olandria with an Oprah sensibility about at least the perception of safety.
Yes.
Because Wendy's a little sensational.
Yeah.
And the girls have been sensationalized enough. Oprah is very, very Maya Angelou. And they've been Maya Angelou even more than enough.
Yeah.
They needed somebody who was going to be provocative and also be safe.
Yeah, 100.
And here's the thing about Shelley and the producers conversation. And I'm going to look at the camera when I say this. Everybody and their mother is saying that the producers are the devils here and that the islanders are telling us the truth. I actually disagree. And this is a hot take that I'm okay standing alone. I think there are two frameworks that we need to think about are equally valid. Mm-hmm. There is the framework of the person who's actually in something, who understands intimacies and intricacies that we could never assume unless we were there.
Exactly.
And there's also the bird's eye objectivity of someone who was watching it without any personal investment. And so perfect example of that is Nick. Nick
Yeah.
said, I would have never come out and said that my body language with Sierra was different from my body language with Olandria. But when I watched the edits, I realized you guys have a point. Even though we were in the villa, you guys saw a stark difference in us that we didn't have the vantage point to see. And so I think rather than us constantly coming after the producers, even though we know that they're the obvious devil, I think there's the producers making up stuff and building false narratives. There's the islanders having their subjective experience, because even though you're in the island, you're not objective. You're in the island, right?
Yeah,
like you're not objective.
You're immersed in the experience.
So if there's groupthink, you're part of the groupthink. But then I
Yeah.
think the audience also has some value in the perspective of an outsider looking in that we can't keep discounting when it comes to shows like Love Island.
And I think that at the end of the day,
The day's going in. Sorry.
the day is going to end.
Really?
But also, producers can't work with anything out of thin air.
Yeah.
Like,
You have to crash out for them to weaponize it.
well, you have to crash out as a, But also, these are things that are, everything is being caught on camera, and all they're doing is piecing it together to present a narrative in which people will digest themselves and judge accordingly. And for me, I've never been part of the discourse where these are the mean girls. These girls had a moment where, and it was just one episode.
Yeah, it was.
It was just one episode where everything turned and everybody's colors were shown, whether that's you being a Huda fan, Shelley fan, Love Island stan, no matter what perspective you come from, it was this one episode and this one moment where everybody made the decision, that's who the villain is. That's who we're going to go after. That's who we at least see as someone that I do not support in the quote-unquote girls conversation, you know?
I think the misappropriation of the word grace, I really find it very disheartening how we can watch somebody who is not black be harmful and dangerous at times, be demeaning, be psychologically unsafe and abusive, do coercion, just do all matter of things that are objectively not good and harmful to others, not just yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then the minute they say sorry and cry, we say, show her some grace. But if a black woman who has actually had an insurmountable amount of stoicism and self-restraint finally says the thing that she could have said 3 weeks ago and still been valid, and finally says it later than everybody else would have said it, and that is unforgivable, and now you are a mean girl.
What happened? Where did it go?
Racism.
We don't want to say it, but it's in your
I'll say
face.
it.
It's in your face.
Y'all-
It's just
y'all-
in your face. And it's something that, as much as people are tired of hearing about it, it's the theme of 2025.
Would you ever do a reality show?
I've done a non-scripted show from a various perspective. I would host a reality show.
I love how you chose your words. For those of you who don't understand industry speak, he said unscripted when I asked for reality show because you understood the nuance. I'm clear that you've done unscripted. Dexter Mayfield. The Dexter, the Mayfield.
I would host.
Would you do a, no, would you be in? Anybody would host because that's a job. Would you be in a reality show when you are the work?
If I have my own private space that there are no cameras at, yes.
A private dancer, a dancer for money.
No, like sleeping in 10 beds next to each other, not gonna happen. But like a trader situation, potentially.
Okay.
You know, it
So
depends.
you need your downtime, your sleep time to be.
I need my downtime, I need off-camera time, and I need time for a producer not to be in my ear.
That's so funny you mentioned traders because it feels like at least once a month I cry over the fact that I turned down traders. It's been.
Oh, the first season. Now, ma'am.
Are you having a reaction, friend?
Because that season specifically, if you were in that house, the results would have been different.
Look, I said this on live recently. The reason why I turned down traders is I signed up for the Circle.
Okay.
And because the Circle, you're in the house. It was during quarantine. I was like,
again, you have your own private space.
We're in quarantine for free.
Yeah.
So when I signed up for the Circle, the producers texted me. They didn't even email me. They texted me privately and they're like, we actually want you to do this show called Traders. Could you do X, Y, and Z? Here's a link, X, Y, and Z. The reason why I turned it down is because I'm an emotional intelligence coach.
Yeah.
And the idea of showing off my ability to be dishonest when
But
my entire job is making people honest.
But that would only have to come into question if you were chosen to be a traitor. Now, if
They would have chosen me to be a traitor, friend. The person who won was my archetype.
That's what I'm saying. It would have been but could you imagine if you had that as the archetype for the traitor and you were the archetype for
innocent person,
the faithful?
I understand, but
like I feel like you would have
hyper focused on me. They would have wanted to make me a traitor. They make me nervous, and I would have cried. I would have been sniffling and crying and feeling. I would have won, but I would have been crying.
That's what I'm saying.
But I would have felt bad about it.
You would have been the only one that could have met the person who won that season's match.
That's true.
You would have and it would have been such good television.
Yeah, that's true.
But again,
it would have been Spider-Man. I'd be like, now, hold on, bitch. That's
just
my
pointing.
Look.
Just
bitch
pointing.
stole my look, but I think she lying.
But that's what I'm saying. But back to,
you being in a reality show, friend.
Yes, I would do it if there was some sense of the camera is not. I need that time. I need that time off camera. It's even in social media and any aspects of being on any type of camera. I need that off time to recharge, to reboot, especially specifically in the Love Island setting with them not giving, they have phones, but the phones don't tell time. I'm sorry. Excuse me, what?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
For those who don't know, on the show, and we're going to pivot from Love Island after this, because for those of you who've been rocking with me, hoping for us or whatever, I will timestamp these things.
Yeah.
But they have a thing called Island Time, where if you ask what time it is, it's Island Time. You never actually have the time. Are you neurodivergent at all?
I don't think I've been diagnosed, or I think I am. I think I'm very soft. I'm soft neuro softy, slightly.
Oh, I'm a level 1, so I think that's me. That's what they call I'm what they call level 1 autistic. That's not the only way to be neurodivergent, by the way. But I'm a level 1 autistic, which means I can assimilate, but I'm clearly autistic, right? And so the reason I ask that is part of stimming and being overstimulated when you're neurodivergent is we actually need decompression time or we come undone. It's not even a matter of preference.
Crack.
We will crack if we don't have just a beat to recalibrate ourselves and prepare to mask and go back to assimilating with the general population.
And then honestly, I think that I learned that on Come Dance With Me because yes, I'm a judge. Yes, I'm in an expert position, but you're still working with producers. And I think, what was it? I saw Janae's interview with Kiki where she says they'll suggest things.
Yeah.
And it was a specific episode where I was just submitting to every suggestion. Yeah. And it threw me for a loop.
Because you were being manipulated heavily.
And it was okay, I understood what happened in that moment, and it never happened the rest of the season.
You took your power back.
Yeah, and it's one of those things to where if I am in a reality show that does that, then I will lose it. So
they will film it and they will clip it.
Exactly. And I specifically need that time and that autonomy to course correct given whichever situation.
Speaking of course correction or the lack thereof of sometimes, Chloe Bailey. Let's get into Chloe Bailey because look at your eyes. I'm not gonna say anything bad.
But I'm just ooh, what happened? I'm curious.
Yeah, because Chloe Bailey is someone who we've seen sincerely, because she's talented enough, she's beautiful enough. She's done all the things that sincerely should have catapulted her to superstardom.
Both albums,
bigger than she
has a full
has.
body of work. I just have to say this: both albums, from an R&B perspective, and then from a more urban pops perspective, whatever label you want to put on it, both bodies of work are so full and juicy, and I just need people to get into her actual artistry and not worry about all the other things.
That's very kind of you, sir. I don't think they're going to listen.
It's not going to happen, but that's just my personal opinion.
You know how long it took Tinashe to get a lick?
Listen.
Okay? It's when the people have decided, it's kind of damn, that's fucked up. Maybe I'll just change my name.
Prove it to me, please.
Well, you have to change your name. And for those who don't understand, Money Long had to change her name. Her used to be Gabby. Y'all don't give a fuck about Gabby, but y'all love her.
I was into her when she was Priscilla Renea.
Right? So I'm just Priscilla is Money Long.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, her is Gabby Wilson. So it's when people like her and Money Long are having a Chloe Bailey moment, you literally have to change your government name and come out as Peter Parker and them and come out as Superman.
Yeah.
Chloe Bailey recently made headlines though because she was talking about the movie Sinners. And she was saying that watching the movie Sinners was, I don't want to use the word triggering, but it resonated deeply to her.
Yeah.
Because she feels like Sinners is the perfect analogy to what it's like trying to make it in this industry where there are literally the powers that be, like Remick, outside saying, ooh, that music sounds magical. Can I come inside? And you almost have to bargain with, do I want to make a deal with the devil to get put on?
Yeah.
And a lot of people who have dissected Sinners have said, think about it. The people who are conscious and are of sound mind and body are inside suffering, while the people who are sheep are outside dancing and laughing and singing and happy. Because they don't know they're actually part of the problem.
I think people really don't understand how much intention was put into that movie.
Now back to Chloe, though. What do you think about that statement?
I think she's 100% accurate.
Have you been ever asked to sell your soul to be put on?
Not directly in like the context of like the stakes being that high, but I have been asked to do certain things that I'm like, this doesn't feel right once I said yes.
What's the line for you that you gauge that, oh, this is a job, I don't have to be directly attached and in love with everything, I'm doing a job and I can do it well and add value, versus, oh no, we can't do this? Where's that line? Like, what tends to be the thing that makes something a no for you as far as crossing the line, as far as getting put on?
For me specifically, there has to be some type of cooperation and collaboration between like everybody, and understanding that what we're producing or what we're creating is for good. It is to not do harm. It is to either share a new story, share a new experience, or specifically, I think when I'll use Taylor as a reference, like the specific intention for her was to advocate for the queer community at
so
that
you're talking about Taylor
time.
Swift. Give some context. So what happened with Taylor Swift exactly?
So with Taylor Swift, that job came about in the most unique LA way that I feel like any of the music videos I've done before. Casting reached out and directly, and they were like, Dexter, I just need you to hold this because it's big, because I knew the casting director on the job. Didn't get called in for a casting or a callback. They just said, we want Dexter, so asked for his avail
as a
directly.
dancer, an actor, like how?
As a dancer. This was specifically as a dancer, and would be the only technical dance moment in which I would come to find out in the music video. But
what was the video? So they can be stalkers.
The video is You Need to Calm Down. I am the one with the rainbow little onesie with my belly out. And yeah, it's a beautiful music video. But the intention behind it, once heard from casting, heard from Todrick, finally heard from my agent, all the things, is to uplift the queer community, and specifically in 2019 when the Equal Rights Act was being pushed through that as legislation. So I'm very intentional about being a part of those types of projects.
So that's what you would do. My question is, what wouldn't you do? Like, what would be the line? Like, what could have someone like a Taylor or somebody of that caliber have said to you for you to be like a no?
If there was any way where any of my intersections was seen as a joke.
There we go.
If my blackness was seen as a joke, if my fatness was seen as a joke, if my feminist was seen as a joke, any of those intersections where I'm being Sambo, can't do it. I absolutely cannot do it.
I love that you said that, and I thought that you would say that.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to lead you, but I wanted you to be explicit about saying that,
Yeah.
because for me, I understand the business as a business because I spent 15 years behind the scenes and then got pushed to be on
in front of camera, yeah.
So as somebody who was a producer before I was talent, and who was a writer, and writers tend to have anonymity, all you know is my byline. For me, if I'm punching down, it's always a no. It's that simple. For anybody who wants to make it in Hollywood, if I'm punching down, if I am stepping on a marginalized group or pushing propaganda that can cause harm, and I'm punching down, I'll punch up all day. I punch up all for a living, right? I'll punch up and hold people who are powerful accountable. But I will never punch down. And I love that you said that if your queerness, your fatness, your feminist, one of the things that I love about you, and I want to tell everybody know how we met at a screening for Rustin, was it? It was Rustin.
That is correct.
And we ended up, I think it was, who's the name has J in it. The hairstylist from Real Housewives of Atlanta from back in the day. Is it Derek?
Oh, Miss J.
Miss J. There we go. I ran into Miss J outside the venue because I was lost. I had just flown in from New York.
You really did.
And I was walking and I was like, where's this building? I'm looking for a building for the homosexuals. Where are we going? Like, I just knew it was something.
And it was not a building for the homosexuals at all.
I just knew I was coming to a pride. I didn't know what was happening. I'm the friend who will show up to be supportive. So I was like, where's the rainbows? Where's everything? I'm like, I came out to whatever.
None of that was in sight.
It was very, very highbrow. My bad.
Yeah.
So he found me on the street and was like, sis, I feel like you're going where I'm going. So Ms. J grabbed me by the hand and took me into the building. And then I run into you and I'm just like, I don't know who this is, but I love their energy.
Same.
And we ended up sitting next to each other.
We didn't even like plan that. That's what was available. The seat was actually really good. So
we ended up creating the cool kids section. There was actually a reserve section. People were looking at our section.
Oh yeah,
instead of the reserve
because it was
section.
for the Black Creators Summit for GLAAD, and they had the reserve section for everybody who was a part of that amazing program. And we was just cutting up.
We were out to the side
child.
having a key to the point where people from the reserve section were coming up like, what you talking about? And then when the movie came on, I thought that we were being quiet. Let's not be those Negroes. I thought we were being quiet with our commentary, but there were people behind us like laughing.
Yep. Accurate.
100%. They're like, oh, we got the right seats. What else you see? I was like, oh shit. We are live tweeting the movie. We immediately knew the Coleman was gonna get some sort of nod or acclaim for that role.
And absolutely did.
We Clarked it. And so, like, the minute that happened, one of the things, I'm going to say something controversial right now, but you know my heart, so I'm going to say it. One of the things I love about you, Dexter, and that I think has stopped me from being friends with people who thought that I would be their friend but wasn't, particularly people who look like me or seem similar than me, is you're not a performative fat person. And I want to talk about this. The reason why I am kind of quiet when it comes to the body positivity movement is not because I don't believe in it.
Yeah.
It's because of the mean girls and the gatekeepers and the commodifiers who have just turned like fatness into a gimmick to be oppressive.
Yeah.
Even if you're fat yourself, right? And so it's rare for me to meet someone of size in LA who is in those spaces who doesn't wear it like a gimmick or like a badge of honor or victimhood. Yeah. And it's just part of who they are, but there are a lot of other things.
There are so many other things.
A lot of people unintentionally flatten their fatness, which I know is an interesting turn of phrase, where all they are is fat. Like anything you talk to them about, you're like, hey, what do you feel about women's rights? Well, you know, being fat. And I'm just like, okay, you can do that. They're intersectional. Yeah. And I need you to understand that we see you. And so that's already implied sometimes, and it doesn't have to always be. It's like when you watch those after-school specials in the 90s.
Oh, 100%.
And the minute the music would start, you're like, oh, they're about to do a PSA.
You feel it. You even, the way the scene is set up, everything.
Isn't that a TikTok trend where they play the 90s music that tells you it's about to be a PSA? And when you hear that music, you're like, oh, we're about to have a heavy-handed moment of being civically engaged. Yeah. I can't do it. Because my thing is, I'm comfortable with my body, and I don't only see myself as my body. And so there's a lightness that I carry myself with that I think that when I'm around a lot of other like plus size people in the industry, I had somebody tell me, you don't act like a fat girl. Do you think you're better than us? Somebody said this to me in the body positivity movement, and that was the day that I left. What are your thoughts around people who are performatively fat and wear it like a gimmick rather than relaxing into their power?
Well, one, we're seeing who those people are.
Oop, I was trying to be nice, but you said it.
We're seeing who those people are. Yeah. But not in their fatness all of a sudden. And I'm just leaving it at that. It's not one person. There are multiple things happening at the same time. It's frustrating for me specifically because when I essentially joined the body positive moment, my understanding is every single body has value. If you're fat, you have value. If you're fit, you have value. If you're skinny, you have value. If you're average or slightly above and or the other.
Mid-size, you have value.
Mid-size, you have value. And then the one thing that I discovered was all of a sudden in the body positivity movement, these people are pitting each other against each other. And I was just like, Wait, hold on.
So y'all are now fat mean girls. Like the mean girl is still there, regardless of your size.
Like on some of those sides, and then like all of a sudden the fit people who I know and have personal conversations with, all of a sudden have so much to say about a fat body, and specifically for me, and you know, especially with the fact that, you know, you have so many medical interventions for fatness itself.
Yeah.
And I'm not judging anyone's decision to do so. A lot of them actually pertain to health and are actually health-based. So you can't judge people for wanting to have a healthier life.
You can't.
You can't. But the way you carry yourself in this new body is saying a lot about how you should have been carrying yourself in the old body, you know? And for me, the confusion and the frustration enters. It's like, so we were good when you were fat, but now that you're skinny, you can't associate with any fat people, so all of a sudden.
Can we talk about that? I want to talk about the fat girl to fit mean girl pipeline, because it, like, perfect example, when my aunt passed away, I gained 60 pounds. I lost it last year and barely talk about it. I'm still a big girl.
Because you were just minding your business and your body did what it was supposed to do.
I wanted to be healthier, but I did not make losing 65 pounds
the objective.
My entire personality.
Yeah.
And I never once looked at or treated anybody differently because of it, myself included, because I was already treating myself well.
Yeah.
I was doing it for health. But perfect example, and I'm going to call out names. Now that I'm on the TikTokies, a couple years ago, I fell in love with a video from a girl named Fania, I think her name is, and I really, really was championing. I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna talk the truth. I really championed Fania and thought that she was delightful. When she started losing weight, I didn't judge her. I was like, oh, she's trying to be healthy, good for her. When I saw how mean and at times incredibly shallow in an ironic way she was, I was disappointed but not angry. I was saddened because because to me, you're telling us how much you hated yourself before.
Yeah.
Nobody who likes themselves loses weight and unleashes that much vitriol. The vitriol was always there. Beauty, success, money, fame, any perception of power makes you more of what you already are. When somebody thinks they're popping and gets mean, you were always mean. You were just broke and ugly. You were always mean.
Well.
You just can afford to show us how mean you are now.
Well.
So what do you say to the Fania, and if Fania sees this, because, you know, I want all the smoke because I am the smoke.
Yeah.
If Fania or anybody who loves her, because I saw her at a brunch a couple of weeks ago, if any of them see this, I need you to know that if you're speaking in a way to people now that would have broken your heart when you were in a different body, you are the problem.
And it's like, you not only should have an extreme foundation for empathy coming from that perspective.
You should know better.
You're extremely intentional with every single word you say that goes against that intention.
Yeah.
And it's just like specifically for her, because I didn't get into her when she was in her bigger girl era. So like when I saw everything that was happening, I was just like, yo, what's the cause for it? Like,
I actually think I know the cause. When you don't do the internal work and you think that the external is all you're going to need to feel good, and so you pay a lot of money and get Ozempic shots or plastic surgery or do any of the valid things that you can do to lose weight, and you realize you're now thin and rich and you still hate yourself, that's where the bitterness comes from. People who think that money can actually buy happiness are so devastated when they get the money and they're so miserable.
It's so, like you said, it's very saddening, and it's also like there's so many opportunities to course correct at that point.
Yeah,
it's like, since we naming names right now.
Oh, we naming names on this show.
Mistress Isabel Brooks on RuPaul's Drag Race is showing out in this new body, and it's like, ma'am.
You always hated yourself.
There's so much work that needs to be done. Aside from just being the villain, aside from being the baddie or the baddest. And I think that like what really like breaks my heart is because that one specifically has, again, so much shine, confidence, willing to be the controversial character. And no one goes against that. If that's what your intention is, please do it. Have a ball, but let's do it with respect. Let's do it with intention. And let's not, again, punch another person or another community down in the process of doing that.
Yeah, big girls who secretly don't like themselves and who assume that I secretly don't like myself cannot stand me when they realize that I actually still do like myself. There's nothing more dangerous to a performative person than somebody who's actually being sincere. Like my sincerity offends a lot of people. Not even you would think it's the way I talk. Like, yeah, you rah rah. No, I don't have enemies or people who dislike me because I'm being provocative.
Yeah.
We live in a very provocative time. It's when people realize, oh, she's not faking. She actually likes herself. And that's why I enjoyed you so much, because I was like, Dexter acts like he actually likes himself. I don't have any plus, like, it took me so long to make a plus size friend in LA who I didn't feel like was doing like a slapstick yuck version of fatness for performance.
And for me, it's just because this is the body I exist in.
Exactly.
First of all, because your body has fat, no matter how the amount of fat it has, if you're coming for people who are obviously a bit like actually obese or technical terms, each of these people are human beings.
They're still people.
And for some reason, that humanity is sucked out of us, and we're seen as just, well, what is this? This is so sad. This is so sickening. I get it from our community all day, every day.
Really? Because the black community is known for being more...
Baby, I literally just did a line dance. And I have to go through my comments, because if you come to my page and you being disrespectful, guess what? I have the agency to be like, oh, you don't want to see this? I will make sure Blockiana will come out and you can never see or have to deal with this sick, sad excuse of a man who dances out of joy, but
You're so joyous.
Like for
Why do I want to cry? Like the thought of somebody sending you hate mail makes me want to cry because you're so joyous.
And it gets so frustrating, especially when it comes from black men and black women, who I then go and look at your profile pic because that's the only thing I can see. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Are we dealing with self-hate? Are we dealing with some internal things going on? Because last time we looked very similar.
Well, that's the thing that happens when people are fat phobic. They're looking at you as their biggest fear come to life.
Yeah.
Even if they are fat themselves. It's like, how dare you be one of us and not be ashamed? I thought we all agreed that we were going to be ashamed in these bodies. How dare you be joyous? How dare you? And also, too, I will say this, Dexter, and this is something that really applies to you. When somebody has told themselves that they can't have something because they're gay, because they're femme, because they're plus size, because they're over a certain age, because they're a certain color, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They tell themselves that everything that I don't have is not my fault. It's not my responsibility because this thing is working against me.
Yeah.
When they see people like us who literally have the same fucking checklist and we out here doing it.
Honey,
living rich lives.
I love my checklist. And
that's cognitive dissonance, because if you can exist in the same body that I exist in and have access to the joy that I told myself I didn't have access to, I now have to re-examine everything that came before I met you.
Yeah.
It's easier to tear you down.
And specifically for me, where the disconnect, it doesn't click for me, is that, like you said, whatever intersection we lie in and we have internal issues with that, why can't you love yourself along the way? Like if you're looking to be better, if weight is something that you want to regulate, if your health is something that you want to get in check, why can't you love yourself and look amazing through every step of the process? Why, when you take your before and after pictures, your posture's like what? Stand in your power, stand in your body. Like it's still the body that you're living in and existing in, and it's giving you life, and you get to breathe every day, and you get to live every day, and you get to work every day. Why can't you be happy and joyful in that existence through your journey to become better in whatever way you see fit?
That's not marketable. And I hate to be that cold about it.
It's not.
Have commodified self-loathing. Somebody actually recommended that I apply for The Biggest Loser several years ago.
Speaking of The Biggest Loser, they have a
documentary
coming out, and even just the sound bites. One of them from the producers, we don't want fat people who are happy. We want them who are sad.
That's what I'm about to say. I went to a casting call. By the way, this is the only casting call where I've ever been fully rejected.
Yeah.
My friend was like, you need to go on The Biggest Loser. You'd be perfect for it. It was down the street from my house in D.C. I go to the casting call. Me and the producers are laughing, kikiing, whatever. And one of them pulled me aside. They were like, you're too happy. I said, excuse me? They were like, have you had therapy? She asked me if I had therapy. I was like, yeah, I've had therapy. She's like, you're just too well adjusted and we really love you, but I wanted to personally tell you, I know we're not going to call you back because you're too happy.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me get this straight. You loved me and thought I'd be a great addition to the show, but I don't hate myself enough to be on a show that's supposed to be about making people love themselves.
Make it make sense.
It does make sense because how do you sell the Biggest Loser starter pack? How do you sell the T-shirts?
The name in itself.
Right. How do you
name
sell
in itself, yeah.
the Biggest Loser when somebody already thinks that they're a winner?
Can't do it.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes.
You've worked with a lot of celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple that I saw. I was like, I love Dexter. Not sure how I feel about them. So let's get into it real quick. This is a safe space.
This is so. First of all, I love Humanized because
I'm humanizing you, friend.
First time anybody has ever asked me this question. I'm so ready. I'm
okay,
so
you
excited.
ready? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Have you ever worked with Melissa, aka Lizo?
Yes, I have.
And what was that like?
That experience was due to me participating in a challenge, an online challenge that they presented. It was for her Coachella performance. And they had booked the dancers. I knew who the dancers were. I knew who the choreographers were. And I was just like, you know what? This is a good social media moment. At the time, I was all about Melissa and the music and everything that she was doing. And I was like, you know what? Let me just participate. I was the only boy who did it, I think, during the online competition. And the second Coachella week, which I was still going to, her choreographer called and reached out. I was on another job, and he was like, hey, Dexter, we saw your video. We love it. We want you to come and, do your thing, have the moment, have a little solo moment, da-da-da-da-da. I was like, sure, let's do it. Cut to the day, got to re-meet her, because ironically, I met her on set for another friend's music video that she's worked with. Jesse St. John, I love you.
You be outside.
And this is when the hustle was hard. The hustle was so hard. I think I was working a part-time job. I was saying yes to every opportunity because, this is 2017, I was still trying to get people to understand that you can have a bigger body and dance and be in entertainment and make it work. So cut to Coachella. She was super sweet. Ironically, when the moment came to be on stage, the crowd went nuts.
I love that.
Absolutely went nuts. She officially ordained me to be the first big boy of her Big Girls movement. And it was great. That was my experience of working with her. And
how has your view evolved now that other things have come to light?
Extremely disappointed.
Why are you disappointed? Be honest.
I know what happened as far as the situation with her dancers.
The allegations that were made against her, yeah.
I'm not going to say they're allegations, but that's what we legally have to say. And accountability is a beautiful thing.
Do you know anybody in that ecosystem? Because
I know everything in that ecosystem.
Yeah.
I found out about it in real time. Yes. So
breaking. Okay, hold on for a second, friend. I'm gonna be responsible. Don't worry. I actually do this professionally. I'm not gonna put you in harm's way. But you were cognizant of what was happening outside of just public fodder and PR rollouts about what was happening. Like, you were more intimately involved, and so your disappointment comes from real lived experience, not from you doom scrolling.
Yeah.
See, we chose our words carefully. I'm happy you're saying that because I know so many people who were close to it who privately said to me, Blue, this is not good. It's harmful, it's hurtful, it's not good. And so when I was working at that time, everybody who, whether it was a Hollywood Unlocked or the Griot, wherever I was working, everybody kind of assumed that I would be on Lizzo's side just because I'm a confident big girl and she's allegedly a confident big girl.
Yeah.
This is why performative fatness bothers me because it makes people see you as bedfellows with folks that don't act anything like you. I've never felt that she and I were kindred aside from our size.
Yeah.
Because the way that she moves, for me, and this is only for me, does not feel like the way that I, as an actually confident plus size person who's gotten therapy and who's healing, actually move. It's actually counterintuitive the way that she acts as somebody who's actually done the work. So I was like, she don't smell and taste like somebody on the journey that I'm on.
Yeah.
And I've always been concerned that she's somebody who would lose a lot of weight and become a little bit mean. It never occurred to me that she would be I had to say allegedly, be doing things that were fatphobic, harmful, and just egregious to people who look like her while she still looked like that. And I think she's a perfect example of, even when she went on Keke Palmer's podcast or she went on Trish Paytas's podcast, I've never heard her take accountability for impact whether she intended it or not. Because you can have impact without intending it, and it's still harmful.
Because at the end of the day, she is another human being who is navigating an industry that does not essentially want what she is. And the reason
But she deflected that on people who were below her on the food chain. Allegedly.
And for me, especially because I know individuals who have worked with her and have come on the other side harmed.
Yeah.
Is the best. Just, dancers go through a lot.
Dancers, I think, to me, are the hardest working and least applauded and covered group in entertainment, in my personal opinion. Everybody else.
So much so that I am the only dancer on record that has a VMA.
Wow.
There's best choreography.
Congratulations to you, and also that's appalling.
But that is...
What?
That's why I love working with Taylor. Like, literally sitting front row after we won a VMA. She said, Dexter, you get a Moon Man, right?
Wait, Taylor Swift made sure that
The entire cast.
The entire cast got a VMA, but you're saying that there's no other dancers on the record for getting VMAs.
Yes, there's no best dancer, there's no this.
After all these decades.
It's only best choreography is the closest thing.
The same MTV that ushered in Michael Jackson, the king of pop and dance.
And Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson. Never thought in all these decades that the dancers matter, even though Britney Spears, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, hell, even fucking NSYNC in their heyday showed off the importance of dance. Ricky Martin, I was there in the late 90s. Oh, see, this is why, let me calm down.
I knew we were going to have a key, but we get it toy now.
No, this is why I don't fuck with y'all, because the fact that all of TikTok hinges on the backs of dancers. Entire
Welcome to my world.
Celebrities would have no career because they don't have a voice, but they can dance. All right, I'm going to say this real quick. If Lizo ever sees this, take it from two plus-size people who have walked in your shoes but chosen different paths about how to hold themselves accountable to others.
Yeah.
It's not late to be accountable. I'm going to say this to her right now. If you see this, whether you intended it or not, unintentional harm is still harm. And if you can sincerely admit that you might have unintentionally, I'll even give you that, unintentionally caused harm to any of the dancers or people in your employment, and you still think that you are deserving of grace and a redemption arc, because I don't want to be punitive, you can't ask us to redeem you without you acknowledging your impact. I will personally never take my foot off of Lizzo's neck as far as holding her accountable for the harm that I personally know that she has caused until she can at least acknowledge that the impact happened, regardless of if she meant it or not.
And even I will go a step further and just say, have a simple conversation with the people you've impacted. You don't have to make it public.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell everybody what's happened. I just want my friends to feel as if they mattered to her. That's it. That's all I want. Because no matter what, we are all in this industry to share our experience, to share our understanding that our representation matters as well. So like for me, if harm is done, it's never too late to fix it. It's never too late to have the conversation. If you're truly intentional about being better and healing, let's heal everyone involved and not just ourselves.
And also, too, I'm going to be honest, statistically speaking, because y'all know a bitch loves research, like statistics have shown, researchers have time and time again quantified this. Someone who causes harm and cannot simply acknowledge it is almost destined to repeat that mistake because they never sat with what actually happened. And so in my personal life, if you cause me harm and I want to forgive you and you refuse to acknowledge it, I actually can't forgive you.
Yeah.
Not because I'm not forgiving. I can forgive you from a distance, but you can't have access to me without acknowledgement because you're guaranteed to do it again.
Yeah.
Whatever justifications you made for hurting me, if they're not acknowledged, they will happen again the next time you're put in that position. And so it's not us being punitive.
I feel like that's kind of literally what is happening globally in 2025.
I want to talk about another controversial figure that you have had access to and worked with.
Oh, goodness.
A video that I recently did about Jennifer Lopez went viral when I, just using data and clips that happened, pointed out that there's a peculiarity with J-Lo's hyperfixation on Beyonce Giselle Knowles. I don't know what I was thinking where I didn't expect it to do numbers. That video.
You were just going with the research you had.
I was just I'm a nerd. I'm a pop culture nerd. I was
Yeah.
just doing some research. I went to the bathroom and came back like, wait, what? Hold on.
Yeah.
I pee fast. Like, what happened? So here's the thing about J-Lo. I made it at a point at the beginning of the video to say, I have been in the room with her a couple of times. Mm-hmm. We are not friends, but observing her in close proximity, she was lovely to everybody in this space. And I can still acknowledge the Mariahs, the Ashantis, everybody who might have been took from when it comes to J-Lo, because she be taking stuff. She's the Hamburglar, right? She's the Barrico Hamburglar. What was it like working for J-Lo? And also, does she know that your moon is in Virgo? Because you know she don't fuck with them.
I don't think she knew my moon.
Thank
was in
God
Virgo.
J-Lo thought you were a Sag and didn't know the rest of your chart,
This
friend.
is one that's tough because one, it was the first big music video I ever did.
What video was it? Call it out.
Poppy music video.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
And it was also the first artist that I work with that really took a very specific interest in me.
Of course.
To the point where we were in rehearsal, we were actually showing her the new choreography or, showing her the choreography, like first sight, everything. This is what the visual treatment and everything was going on. And I was right off her shoulder. Like, there were 23 of us that were booked. So to have me, a bigger body, dancing next to J-Lo, I was like, is this actually happening? And for a second, it almost didn't. She was watching. She saw us go through it a couple of times. And she was saying, something's off. I don't know what it is. So naturally, the choreographers were like, oh, let's rearrange the dancers. I was about to be put in the back. She specifically said, stop. Do not do that. I like him. Mm-hmm. Where he is, my joy was coming through my performance. It's like, I love his smile. I love his energy. Do not move him. So throughout the next rehearsal process, we're literally getting to know each other. And for us specifically, like when she's working with dancers, that's home for her.
Of course. Dancing is the one place that nobody can crack a joke on J-Lo.
Yeah.
We can sometimes crack a joke on why you're dancing to Not Like Us. Some of her musical choices are questionable, but her as a dancer, I will never take that away from her.
Yeah, so with the dance community, she really handles and collaborates with us in a very authentic, kind of grounded way.
Were any of the dancers Virgos, Dexter?
I didn't know enough of them like that.
Did you clock any Virgo energy in the room? I'm trying to get to the bottom of this, guys. Okay, this is investigative journalism. J-Lo was nice to the dancers, but were any of the dancers Virgos?
It had to be. It was, like I said,
No.
There were 23, and we were all guys. It was 23 guys. There had to be at least one Virgo in that
I think
room.
one of them lied. Here's the thing. For those who don't know the folklore, there is a very popular actor / dancer. This is somebody who was actually on a major TV show when she came out with this.
Yeah.
And she was on a show, and she was being asked about her career as a dancer, because everybody already knew her as an actress on this really popular show at the time.
Yeah.
And she said, no, I used to dance. In fact, I danced with J-Lo. And did y'all know that she doesn't fuck with Virgos? Like, she had a
This is literally news to me right now.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So the show was Glee, by the way.
Got
so
it.
One of the actors / dancers from Glee said, I was in a literal audition with J-Lo. Everything was going great. She picked everybody that she loved. And then they said, are there any Virgos in here? And those who raised their hands disappeared. And that's where the folklore of J-Lo doesn't like Virgos comes through. And somebody pointed out, they were like, well, why doesn't she like Virgos? And, me being somebody who's into astrology, like, well, she's a Leo. Maybe she doesn't like Virgos because they're very, snippy and particular. And then somebody whispered to me, Mark Anthony and Beyonce are Virgos. And I got real quiet. Because if you watch my video, Miss Mamas has strong feelings about Beyonce. Oh! Did you see the video? Did you see the clips?
I think I saw the beginning of that clip, but I didn't dive in. And
they
I wish
asked J-Lo
I did.
in 2023 at the height of Renaissance, who do you think is the performer of the year? She hummed the opening to Drunken Love and then looked at the camera.
I did see that. I saw that. I saw that.
And then
clip,
she said Taylor Swift. So the fact that J-Lo was asked, who do you think is the woman of the year during the height of Renaissance, when people were not paying their mortgages in order to see Renaissance, and she hummed a Beyonce song to herself while she stalled and then paused and said Taylor Swift.
Only in Taylor's defense,
Taylor ain't got nothing to do with this.
Yes,
this is just about J-Lo.
The subconscious act of that I actually remember the clip you're talking about now.
Right.
The subconscious,
the whole riff, child.
I was like, that is a valid points are being made.
And Drunken Love, not to reiterate my video, this is why it went viral. Drunken Love is the same performance that J-Lo bar for bar stole the aesthetics from for a Maluma performance. Like, it's literally, I pulled a split screen. She stole that performance.
You weren't the only one that did the split screen.
She stole the performance. So my thing is, if there is a rumor that you're hyper fixated on Beyonce, and you redid her entire set, which means you had to watch the video over and over again to steal it. And when you want to answer Beyonce, are choosing to be petty, but your subconscious is going back to that song that you had to watch over and over again to steal from. I rest my case, Your Honor.
The valid points and
can we hold space closed. That she was, and I will say this to you.
Yeah.
You and I have another thing. We have a lot of things in common, which is probably why I like you. I'm not narcissistic, but I like to see myself in others. I really enjoy
what connects us all.
I really enjoy your energy. And one thing that has happened to me that somebody had to pull me aside when it comes to vouching for people, 'cause I used to vouch for everybody. Like, no.
Yeah. Oh, I used to be the same way. Same way.
If you are the magical Negro, if you are a beautiful spectacle, or if you are not a threat because you are so different from them that nothing about you can encroach on them, how they treat you is not how they treat everybody, and you cannot take that.
And and that's going to lead me to my next point. My experience with J-Lo has been beautiful. Mm-hmm. She's even invited me to other events since her movie releases and different things like that.
Did you go?
Oh yeah. Amazon, her wedding film that was on Prime, that was my favorite. That was actually really fun. But
the event was fun.
The event was fun, and the movie was fun. It was the one with
watching
Josh
the movie at the event was fun.
Yes. And
I watched the movie in my living room, and we had different experiences. But I can believe that watching it was fun at the thing. Mm-hmm.
There was multiple reasons that event was fun, and you probably know one of the reasons why. Mm-hmm. But anyway, my experience with her has been nothing but amazing. But flip side of that, I went on tour. You mentioned How to Train Your Dragon. Mm-hmm. There were crew members that did not have the same experience.
Exactly, because they're not beautiful spectacles. They're not going to be a body positivity dancer with a joyous spirit who is perfect to be up front. Like, you are so marketable that someone like her being kind to you, you're marketable and you're likable. So now her ego and her heart both have a reason to fuck with you.
Yeah.
Of course she's nice to you. What happened when you heard from other people who were not as shiny for her about their experiences?
I had to acknowledge their perspective because at first it was one, and then it was two, then it kept just the number just kept increasing on various and different productions, and like we ended up taking that tour to China, and we ended up coming back, and some people have had another experience with her at that time too. So I can't deny someone's reality and just pay attention to my own.
You also can't deny pattern recognition.
Yes,
If 57
exactly.
people with no incentive to lie keep telling me that lady Bean, at some point.
And that was the nicest way some of them put it, because others were not so.
What was the general theme, without saying too much, about what people were complaining about?
She just believes she has a certain way of doing things, and if you don't do the things that way, there will be repercussions and reactions.
Are they reasonable repercussions and actions?
Not surprising reactions.
No. See, let me stop for a second. Let's pause for a second. PSA: Dexter is a Sagittarius, and J-Lo's a Leo. So the fire signs, as the fire sign whisperer, they like to defend each other because they recognize if they call one out, then suddenly they're going to catch a stray. So this is the part where I have to tell Dexter that he came here to shame the truth. Sorry, shame the devil and tell the truth. So Dexter, I'm going to ask you again as if you are not a Sagittarius. Were J-Lo's alleged responses and reactions to the crew members who confided in you reasonable to an objective? Would they be reasonable to me? Would I find them reasonable? This is an audio broadcast, Dexter. Would I find them reasonable?
I love my girl. No. Jenny, I still love you, the girl.
So Dexter has said that he is not mind being her favorite gay, but she mean to the rest of y'all, and it's okay.
I didn't say it was okay. Like I said,
It's not right, but it's okay, Whitney.
I didn't say it was okay. I'm just saying that was not my experience with her. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
No wire hangers. Okay, that's fine. Yo, I stand with the crew. I stand with craft services. I stand with anybody who Jennifer Lopez has personally.
Craft services, because one of them was
Yes.
craft services.
The fact that Jennifer Lopez can't even be nice to craft services.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you about investigative
Stop.
journalism,
Oh my
right?
God.
When I made that video.
I'm so hot. What is happening?
No. This is investigative journalism at its finest. When I made that video and then I booked Dexter to come on the show, I said, look, I know my friend. He's not going to be able to look into my eyes and lie to me. That's why I keep on making eye contact. Hey, what's up, Dexter? Hey, what's up? And I knew that Jennifer Lopez would like him because he's a delightful gay. I knew it. He's a delightful gay with a really, really great IMDb page. I knew she was going to be nice to you.
But again.
But it's the others. It's the others that I knew.
She kicked off the IMDb page. Like that's.
Let me pause. J-Lo knows how to clock who got next because Beyonce caught her slipping and she will never again not clock being in the presence of another star.
Valid points continue to be made.
Just because she clocked you didn't mean she didn't know the IMDb was going to happen with or without her.
True. Okay. I'll give
Okay, I'm going to take my foot off your neck for J-Lo's sins. I just feel like we had to have that moment, friend.
Listen, I'm going to say this. I actually do like the little birthday song. It's kind of cute. The new birthday song she got is actually kind of cute.
You still caping for her?
I'm not caping
Are you getting
for her.
Are you getting any residuals from any productions that you've been on with Jennifer Lopez?
I did get a Fiat commercial, so yeah.
So I just want to point out that Dexter...
The Poppy music video was a Fiat commercial, so again...
Dexter has a financial incentive to be soft about this, and I don't. Get your money, King.
I'm not getting them anymore, but
Get your money, King.
They kicked off a certain... There you go.
All right, so I want to try to turn this to something a little bit more somber and serious.
That's okay.
Now that we've exposed Jennifer Lopez and Lizo for being performatively nice to superstars in their presence and punching down allegedly to those who they cannot leverage. You okay, Dexter? You need a second?
I'm good. I'm just really hot.
You hot all of a sudden? How you get hot when I start asking real questions?
Humanized.
Humanized.
Humans sweat and perspire in certain nervous situations.
If anybody, let me, is this thing on? Let me do a quick PSA. If anybody wants to come on the show, you will be safe. You just can't lie. You feel safe, right?
That's
Dexter?
valid. I feel very safe, and I'm actually having an amazing time.
Yay.
And
you just can't lie.
The truths are being told. This is just truths are being told.
You're just a messenger. You're Paul Revere. All right, so I have it down here. Oh, this is a question that I wanted to ask. We live in a time, and I have to read this because I actually was like going through something when I was writing this. We live in a time with a violently conservative president, Mormon trad wives are all the rage. And it feels like Ozempic is selling out and other diet drugs are selling out like hotcakes. This basically is the 80s all over again. And not to age anybody, but I was here for the 80s the first time.
Same.
Okay, if anybody...
So experiencing it as a baby and an adult is very daunting.
If anybody has survived the 80s, we know that it was a rough time. The fact that we are reliving the 80s to some point, body positivity movement was not big in the 80s. And so it's not a surprise that if we're going to usher in the same kind of conservative values, traditional bigotry, and anti-blackness and anti-fatness of the 80s.
Yeah.
Do you agree with the sentiment that the body positivity movement is going through a severe downswing right now?
Here's what I'll say about the body.
Commercially speaking,
yes,
in particular.
It's hard out here for a pimp.
Ooh.
That's all I got to say. No, just kidding.
Is that why you wore the hat? Because it's hard for a pimp? I love it.
I actually wore this because I wanted to give cookies and cream. But yes.
Ooh, I like that actually.
It's so tough. I will say that the body positive movement is evolving into body inclusive. Mm-hmm. I feel that right now.
What does that mean?
For me, that means what body positivity should have been. Mm-hmm. Everybody is being included at the table. And
pause for a second.
Yes.
Pause for a second. What happened to the smug fat people who liked being in control if we're going to include everybody else?
They have to learn. They have to do their work. They still have to do their internal work. And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, we have to get to a place where we don't demonize somebody on sight for whether that's for being black, being fat, being othered in any type of way based on your physical appearance. Mm-hmm. And for me, I feel that with the current administration that's back in play and the unhinged way that they are moving right now.
Unhinged.
Art is finally starting to speak up, even though it's extremely hesitant because, you know, he canceling entire late night legacy shows and things because, we called out the fact that you paid somebody off. Cancel him now. Anyway, as far as body inclusivity for me, what I just did kind of speaks to where certain creatives are putting their intentions.
What do you mean what you just did?
For the pattern audience. Commercial.
Let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, Dexter was in Tracy Ellis Ross's commercial for Pattern, which is her hair care line.
And for that to be the casting that I actually got to book as an actor, I'm starting to see the right people in the right positions. Mm-hmm. That audition was so seamless and so fun. And between the director and Tracy, they were on this one accord to understand to how to really represent our community and our culture at a moment where everything is against us at this point. Mm-hmm. And ironically, the director, child artist, literally my cousin. Like, no joke.
Oh, wait, wow.
Found out after the commercial came out, my aunt told me, she's like, you know that's your cousin from Arkansas.
Wait, not that you had to audition when you could have just been a Nepo baby? You could have just been a Nepo baby. So you had to audition when that was your whole cousin the entire time? I'd be annoyed. I'm for pro-black nepotism. I'm going to put it on the record. If you are a black person, please nepotize everybody in your family.
Walk like your mother would.
But
absolutely.
Do you think the girls are having problems getting booked because the body positivity movement is not trending the way it used to?
Baby, 2025 is not like 2022 for me or 2023 for me. Mm-hmm. Or 2024 is when the decline kind of started because that's when, specifically when Ozempic and GLP-1s took a chokehold on the entire country.
What are your feelings on Ozempic?
If you need it, mm-hmm. whether that's from a GLP-1 weight loss standpoint or its actual intended use for diabetes because my father has it and he is a lack of it and he can't get it. Mm-hmm. So if you need it, use it. If you don't, stop.
See, here's the thing. I agree. I 100% agree with that sentiment. I do think that my version of if you need it might be different from other people's.
It's more encompassing than just
diabetes.
Yeah.
I will say this, and this is something that I want to. There are two things that I want to say. Lizzo, when she was talking to Trish Paytas, I think her name is, the infamous Trish Paytas, child.
Who I've worked with as well.
That doesn't surprise me. When she was talking to her, she said that she did not use Ozempic because it is the same thing as portion control, and so she just decided to go with portion control. I agree that if she thinks that portion control works for her, then that makes sense. I will say this, though. As a woman of a certain age, that is a false statement that counting calories is the same thing as Ozempic.
Oh, God,
and I just want to, I'm going to look at the camera right now because I want this to be a clip. I want you guys to hear my voice. If you have any hormonal imbalances, Ozempic is not the same thing as counting calories.
At all.
Because if your hormones are out of whack, if your cortisol levels, which are the stress hormone, are out of whack, if you are perimenopausal, if you have any sort of autoimmune deficiency that push your hormones out of whack, Ozempic literally does something for you as far as losing weight that counting calories actually cannot.
100%.
There are several message boards of people who said, I was eating 1,200 calories a day on Ozempic and thought, wait, I've gotten down to eating a calorie count that should make me lose weight. And then I got off Ozempic and I did not lose a single pound and went back to plateauing, went back on Ozempic and lost the weight, and that's when I realized it's not the same thing as just appetite suppressant.
It's not.
So for those who think it's just an appetite suppressant, that is not true. It actually recalibrates your hormones. Number two, a lot of women with PCOS, I'm going to start calling out other things, PCOS and endometriosis, when they take Ozempic, suddenly get pregnant for the first time because it calms their body down enough for their fertility to actually have a moment to shine. So there are women who are taking Ozempic because it helps with fertility. There are women who are taking Ozempic because it helps with hormonal issues.
And again, in those situations...
But because they're losing weight, we say it's not for you. Because we don't want you to lose weight.
And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's not an issue with the drug itself. There's an issue with the misuse.
For 10 pounds of vanity weight. I agree with that. It's just that being diabetic is not the only reason why Ozempic is helpful.
There are other medical reasons
and also
that
too,
it would be beneficial for you.
If you're 350 pounds and you want to have a baby and your doctor has told you that you cannot have a baby at that size and you only use Ozempic to lose weight, I'm okay with that as well. And I'm okay with that as well, to be honest.
And again, same. I have no issue with using it at all. That is not what I'm saying. I'm not down with Ozempic. I'm not with that type of intention or programming at all. I'm just saying people who are literally doing it as a fad and as something they simply have access to, that's when it's like, okay, what's actually going on?
Especially when it causes people who are using it for medical reasons only not to have it. I think for me, and for anybody who's wondering, Blue, are you on Ozempic? No, I'm not. And guess why? Because Ozempic doesn't make me lose weight. It only regulates my hormones. That's how I know that Ozempic can help you regulate hormones without losing weight.
Yeah.
Because once I hit a certain age, my hormones were out of whack and my mother was in the hospital. My stress levels were so high that I was working on eating clean every day, didn't lose any weight. I finally got myself to lose weight by having a very low calorie count and working out twice a day, and that's how I lost the 70 pounds.
Yeah.
But then I said, hey, well, I've done all this work. Can Ozempic help me? I took Ozempic, it didn't do shit. I have not lost a pound in a year, right? However, my hormones improved. And that's when I realized, number one, Candy Burst is the same way. Number one, not everybody who takes Ozempic who's not diabetic is doing it just to lose weight. It has other things that it can help. Yeah. But number two, had I lost 70 pounds on my own and then decided to lose Ozempic to lose the rest of the weight, fuck anybody who had a problem with that. That made me real, because up until that point, I was like, leave it to the people who are diabetic. And I was like, no. Because then I started thinking to myself, why are people so angry when it's not about the diabetics? Unless you know somebody who's diabetic or you're diabetic yourself, I'm going to call cap. Yeah. I think most people who use the diabetic excuse who are not diabetic or don't know people with diabetes, what they're saying is, fatness and skinniness used to be how I felt inferior or superior. Mm-hmm. I don't like the fatties having a cheat code. I don't like knowing that a big bitch who can't work out as much as me or who doesn't have the same genetics as I have, because I eat as much as her, if not more, I don't like knowing that she can find a way to equal the playing field. And I hate that people that I used to feel superior to can have access to something that's going to put us on a level playing ground.
Yeah.
And a lot of folks don't want to admit that's why they actually don't like Ozempic.
It's such a nuanced product, to be honest.
The we're worried about your health thing. Y'all been lying to fat people about being worried about our health for centuries.
Anytime anybody says you worried about my health, I was like, I just came up on your screen in a dance video.
You don't even like me, but you're worried about my health? Right.
You can fix and type every name under the sun or put whatever larger animal GIF you want to put on my page in a comment, but you worried about my health.
And by the way, if you're really worried about fat people only because of their health, which, by the way, as I'm getting older, health matters.
It does.
Then how
100%.
come when Sweetie is making prison food with ramen and flaming hot Cheetos, she doesn't get any comments by people being worried about her health?
Every mukbang I see by anybody just putting everything in their mouth. God forbid I made that video. God forbid.
When a thin person is eating enough sodium to make my foot go to sleep, and enough food dye to literally tie-dye my entire outfit. And nobody says anything but claps. But
this is so funny.
But it's true, right? It's so fun. But when a plus-size person who you know is actually pretty decent in how they take care of themselves eats an extra burger. Now, oh, bitch, you gonna die. We worried about yourself. Actually, wait, what happened? So my thing is, people who lose weight for health, I'm going to 100% support that because my mother has kidney failure as a result of not taking care of herself.
At any day, any point.
And I don't believe those of you who are using your concerns for health in order to bully someone psychologically. So you're worried about my health, but you want me to want to unalive myself? Which one is it? And also, too, you mentioned body inclusivity. I'm going to be honest. I am now part of the body neutrality moment. I don't care. Whatever body you got, be good to it as much as you know how. Get help for what you don't. I'm body neutral.
Maybe that's where I'm at too.
I'm body neutral.
Maybe that's where I'm at.
Because guess what? If I lose 100 pounds right now and have my ass out next year, I don't want to hear shit from y'all. If I decide to gain it back and get pregnant, I don't want to hear shit from y'all. How about you mind your business? I'm all about body neutrality.
Body neutrality 2025. The way forward. Oh my God.
Just stop using people's bodies as a way to decide how much humanity you want to grant them with.
That's it. It's just that simple. I am so sorry. Like, please. Quick
question. I want to make it sexy.
Yes.
Now we've talked about people who judge the fatties, right? And I feel like I can say that as a fat.
Yes.
I'm less fat than before, but still fat, honey. And by the way, I'm using that word intentionally because I've been told I'm a provocateur. Words have power. Words have meaning. And if I can say the N-word.
Fat is not a bad word.
Fat is not a bad word, and fat can actually be good for you. Fat keeps us alive to some degree, right? For me, because I'm healed around the word fat, I intentionally use it as an accurate way to show that the thing that you might think you can weaponize against me, I'm in on the joke, but I'm not a punchline.
Exactly. Like,
I'm a fat woman who is attractive, who's smart, who's desirable, who's worthy of all the love and grace that anybody would have, including myself 100 pounds lighter than this. I don't want people to get into the habit of thinking that fat me is less lovable or desirable than less fat me.
Yeah.
Or that skinny me is the best version of me. Healthy me is the best version of me.
Every single version, specifically the healthy version, is the best version. And that's,
so let's talk about how fat people are fetishized. Because
baby, it is crazy.
If I see a Nigerian man over 6 feet who has a twinkle in his eye, there is a good possibility that he'd be willing to crack me open. And I know that because I had 4 in a row last year.
I didn't even know you had that many.
Shout out to the Nigerian community. Y'all been real good to me. Every man that I slept with in 2020, not dated, not entertained, because some of you that I've entertained are going to think this is about you. You're not that important. Every Nigerian man over 6 feet that I met last year, that I went on a date with, and that I had coitus with, was very fit. Or thin, but mostly fit. A lot of them are personal trainers. I want to get to you about how personal trainers love sleeping with plus size people. And as somebody who's had so many tall, dark, and handsome, physically fit men who are being pandered for by the pick-me's alike, right? And these are men who all have social media presences. They are all being coveted, which is why none of them are on my page. And I'm watching women who are half my size, a third my size, drooling over them. I'm the one getting the text, right? And a part of me was like, half of them are honest about liking bigger people.
Yeah.
The other half, people would be stunned to know that we slept together or that they were chasing me. I don't chase men, by the way, guys. So my question is, what is it like when you feel like somebody might be fetishizing you for having a bigger body? And how do you gauge when somebody really likes you versus when somebody is just trying to try out a new flavor under the rainbow?
I will say the fetishizing, you feel it immediately. They're very direct about it.
Give an example because I'm nasty.
I had one person who I engaged in, what'd you say, coitus?
Coitus? Y'all had sexual relationships?
I thought we were about to.
Oh.
And then he proceeds to arrange himself perpendicular to my body,
Oh, okay.
do the things on my stomach, and left.
This is the audio broadcast, so I know I have to speak, but I am aghast right now.
So
Wait. Pause. You're saying that this man released
released.
and
Just
on your belly region.
yes.
He wanted to see your ampleness
Yes.
covered in his man juice, and then he left the premises. Yeah, that's a fetish.
You feel it different. It hits different, and there are those that handle the fetish with care. Oh, there are
Okay,
some that
explain how you handle the fetish with care.
because it's more intimate. It's more like body contact. It's more like intimacy, looking into.
Then how do you know it's
each
a fetish and not a date?
other. Because the fat is what is the arousal aspect of it. It's because I have a bigger body and they're in contact with that is arousing them. It's not about penetration. It's not about topping or bottoming. It's about
They're just basically, they're here for the fat and the fat alone.
yes.
That is a fetish, yeah. That's a fetish.
So like it's softer, but you still know what the tea is. I am definitely in a more you're into Dexter and the body that comes along with Dexter's moment because I've had the fetishized moments, which are great, super fun, quick, and I still am a cisgendered man, so I still think about that like sexually. So, you know, if I get what I need, you get what you need, we good. But I'm definitely more into those who care and covet me as an individual as opposed to a body part or a body trait.
I once had someone who I thought I was cool with.
Yeah.
And I told them that I was going on a date with a man that they knew who was just well known. And he's very attractive, X, Y, and Z. And when she found out how much he liked me and what it took for him to convince me to go on a date, her first response was, well, so he obviously has a fetish. How do you feel about that? I said, excuse me, bitch. You spelled courtship wrong, ho. and then I said, so what about me saying that a man courted me and convinced me with sweetness to go on a date with him says fetish, right? Because she's like, no, I wasn't trying to. I was like, well, people unintentionally do the wrong thing all the time. So you not trying is irrelevant to what I'm about to say right now. How would you feel if you told me that a man had courted you in the exact same way I told you he courted me, and I said, damn, what do you feel about him having a fetish for women who are built like little boys? Because she was. I said, how would you feel about that? And she got loud, like, excuse me? I said, no. Like, objectively speaking, I am fat and you're built like a 12-year-old boy, right? But I would never think that if somebody likes you...
Because of that.
It's because they want 12-year-old boys. So the fact that you thought that a man liking me was automatically a fetish based on how I look, I'm just going to simply ask you, if I did the same assessment and saw that you have no hips and no titties, and you're about 5 feet tall, about 12-year-old boy, if I said that any man who likes you must have a fetish for little boys because you're built like one, objectively speaking, the same way I'm objectively fat, how would you feel? When I tell you the conversation ended very quickly after that. So how do you know? I want to push this question to you.
Yeah.
How do you know the difference between someone who sincerely just likes big bodies and finds them attractive and also likes you versus someone who has a fetish?
I think the instances that I mentioned earlier about the fetishing, that happened years ago. When I say years ago, I mean like 10.
It could have been
plus
that last
existence.
week. I wouldn't have judged your child.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think that over the course of time, for me, I can spot it. And
Explain it for the audience because there's going to be a lot of people who are plus size who are watching this who
Yeah.
need this sort of discernment. How do you discern the difference between you like bigger people and you like me as a person who's bigger versus you are fetishizing me? Because I don't want us to get into the trap of only dating men who like skinny people who
Yeah.
just happen to love our personality so much that we're a one-off because
Yeah.
that's also a problem for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be somebody's token fatty either. So how do you tell somebody just likes a big person and they like you as well?
I think for me, it's always about communication and conversation. Like, pay attention to the cues. Are they specifically mentioning body parts, or are they getting to know you as an individual, speaking to you as a human being outside of your body? Like, what are your goals? What are you passionate about? What are you intentional about? Those are the cues for me that I've noticed. And yes, if we have a physical moment because I'm in a bigger body, that's great. But it's something that I personally haven't been seeking because it's so temporary. And it's also a two-sided coin. Like, for me, most of the interactions, specifically in LA, that I have to deal with are men who are attracted or find out that they are attracted to a bigger body because they're attracted to me. And you have these, we'll call them the muscle gays or the WeHo gays, and they'll just be like, oh, you can't be with that. Like, I've literally seen people and friends of people who are attracted to me be like, oh, no, you can't do that.
That's hate, and also the gay community is incredibly fatphobic. I've always found this so fascinating that as a pansexual woman, even though I date mostly men at this chapter of my life, there was about 10 years in DC, child.
Yeah.
My mother was outside, okay?
That's it.
And what I find interesting is society tells you not to find fat people attractive, and yet so many people find us attractive. And so for me, I'm not going to feel any kind of way that you discover that I'm popping and I happen to be a big girl and now you're realizing that big girls aren't an option. I don't feel no kind of way about that.
Yeah.
I will say this though, I need my partner to show desire for me. So have you ever had somebody who sincerely liked you as a person, but also just really liked your body and it didn't feel like fetishizing? Have you ever had that?
I don't think I've had it yet, no.
That's honest. And I could tell that from your answer.
I don't think I've had it yet. One, I've never been in a relationship, so there's that.
That's more common these days than you think.
And I'm realizing
It's very
that
common.
on a daily basis. And it eases my spirit because, especially being a gay in LA that hangs around multiple intersections of different types of gays, it's one of those things. I normally am the single one, that type of thing, which is totally fine. I'm content. Like, I love being by myself. We're great. But it does get lonely sometimes.
I'm so happy you used that word because I've noticed that men, gay people, black people, fat people, and people over 35 are the 5 groups of people that I've realized, for obvious reasons, don't feel safe admitting when they're lonely because they know the peanut gallery is waiting to clown them. And I'm just so happy that you trust me enough
Of course.
to be able to admit that because there's nothing more human than feeling loneliness.
Yeah. And
It's the most human feeling in the world.
And I think it's good to admit when you are lonely out of a space where you're content with being by yourself. It kind of goes hand in hand. You can't be content with yourself if you're not being honest about being lonely, if that makes sense. I'm not lonely at all times. There are moments where I'm like, damn, it would be nice. But navigating that space, specifically here in LA, because when I go abroad, it is not a problem. The ones that shocked me the most that are more authentic into what they are attracted to and are okay with admitting that, Australians.
Interesting.
Like, all different types of Australians.
That's very interesting. I'm going to say this too. me realizing that we're sitting here on this couch talking, we're friends in real life.
Yeah.
That you've never had someone who loved your personality and loved your body at the same time without it being a fetish. I think there are a lot of people who are going to be watching this who are going to be realizing that they're in the same boat and didn't realize it.
Yeah.
And having someone, and I will say this, the fact that I've only had it like 3 times. I've dated a lot. But those 3 times when I was with people who really loved my personality and loved my body regardless of what their usual type was, and it wasn't a fetish.
It hits different.
It hits different because I realized any fat person couldn't take my place, and any fun person who's kind to you couldn't just take my place. And I will say this.
Absolutely one of one. It's a one of one
You
experience.
sincerely fuck with me heavy. And I will say this. To the women who are watching this who are bad bitches, who visually would feel like the other extreme of this, I need them to know that extremes are mirrors. Whether somebody is fetishizing you for being fat or fetishizing you for being an Instagram baddie, it's still being fetishized. And so don't think that just because you're not fat that you cannot relate to this. If you are a girl who is an extreme example of conventional attractiveness and men only see you as a trophy.
A message for the twonks and the fit gays too.
Exactly. If you are someone who is considered the top echelon of what is supposed to be conventionally attractive and trending right now, because attractiveness is a trendy thing, right?
Yeah.
And you feel alone or you feel lonely, just recognize that you and these 2 fat people on the screen right now, we all got something in common, boo. And that's the problem this is why I'm body neutral, is because the women who I identify with the most when we're having a person-to-person human conversation, the men I identify with the most when we're having a person-to-person human conversation, don't look like me.
That's why it's so like...
But we have the same problems as people, regardless of what we look like.
Exactly.
And then I'm still a mean fat girl who thinks we're supposed to be besties. You are a mean bitch. I don't want to be besties just because we both can fit lame Bryant jeans. Like, what is this?
Why lame Bryant?
No, when I moved to LA, every fat girl who wanted to cry and talk about how bad her life was thought I was going to be her best friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, but you're miserable. Nothing about me is miserable. You're mean. Nothing about me is mean. I'm blunt, not mean. Words mean things.
Yes.
Like, you're unsafe. I'm an EQ coach. We have nothing in common aside from being 2 fat bitches. And maybe only one of us is cute. So my issue is... Sorry, petty. No, because you ever had somebody ugly call you twin?
Never.
Okay.
Never.
Women have this thing, and I blame the 90s. Back in the 90s, if you were a big girl, everybody was Queen Latifah. And then everybody was Oprah. And then everybody was Monique. So the 90s and early 2000s, big bitches were interchangeable.
Very.
So it created this thing where if any plus-size girl sees another plus-size girl, and they were from back in that time, they're like, oh, well, people tell me no, you don't. You don't look anything like her. I once had somebody with questionable aesthetics call me twin, and the violence I felt in my spirit, I said, bitch, you are problematic. Because here's the thing. Just because I'm a fat person who's comfortable in her body doesn't mean I'm not shallow. Nobody wants to admit this.
Listen.
Fat doesn't mean ugly, and skinny doesn't mean pretty. Some of you skinny people are ugly, and you get mad when the cute fat girl can clock it.
Listen. At all times.
Biracial doesn't mean attractive either. Okay,
Dexter's a pretty boy. I am a pretty boy.
Show Dexter's face. Look at Dexter's face, his eyes. He does pattern commercials for Tracy Ellis Ross, which means he also has great hair. I didn't say good hair because I know what that means politically. I said great hair. And so I think what's interesting is people think that if you are a fun, attractive fat person, that you're going to be a great sidekick. And then they find out, like, honey, you thought it was going to be Beyonce and whoever's next to Beyonce. I'm just a fat Beyonce. It's 2 Beyoncés on the stage. Now what? How do you respond when people find out that you are not here to be the fat best friend and you're your own main character?
They realize it on sight. I guess maybe because I've grown into myself and the internal is reflecting externally. I've gotten it so much more lately that like, a lot of someone who'll meet me somewhere, and I think I was even at a friend's birthday, and the next time I saw somebody, they were like, "You just be holding court, and everybody just be coming to you," and I'm just like, "What else am I supposed to do?"
I think I just realized we have to finish the show. Damn, it goes by so fast.
I knew this one was gonna be a tight one too.
I just realized what this episode is gonna be called: Taking Up Space. with Dexter Mayfield, because I think what we're saying, whether you are fat, queer, black, a woman of a certain age, whatever you are, the society tells you that you're not the conventional
The
thing.
other, yeah.
Be willing to take up space.
That's it.
But be willing to like yourself first before you take up space, because nobody wants a miserable person who's taking up space. Like yourself. Figure out how to like yourself and then take up space in that order, because some of the divas are miserable.
Yes, and it's one of those things to where you need to understand that it's a daily journey. It's not something that, yes, it can be a epiphany aha moment, but it can also be just daily. I had a friend who I was at rehearsal with the other day, and an alarm came up, and I was like, "Oh, what was that alarm for?" I was like, "Oh, we almost at the destination, or whatever." And he said, "Oh, it's just an alarm to say I love myself." And I was just like, "That is beautiful."
Self-esteem, having high self-esteem, and being securely attached is a habit.
Yeah.
So is misery. Being miserable is a habit. By
two
the way,
sides of almost the same coin.
everything
yeah.
is a habit, and I really, really love that you came. We only got halfway through the itinerary.
I knew it. I knew we weren't gonna finish. And now I need the other half, because this was really good.
I'm going to ask you live on camera. Dexter, we have a new thing. We're start doing Monday Night Live, where if I have a show with somebody and they have availability, I ask them to come on live with me on Monday nights after the show comes out. So
it's done.
They can talk. Are you free next Monday?
It's done.
So you guys have heard it here. Dexter will be back for Monday Night Live on the Blue Centric YouTube page. We are going live with Dexter.
And we've gone live at night before. It's
a time.
It's fun.
It's a good time. And also, where can they find you? Because I know they're going to be obsessed with you.
You can find me at DexRated on Instagram and TikTok, at Dex-Rated on the Blue Sky and the X. I hate saying that because it's Twitter. Mm-hmm. Thank you. And also, if you're in LA, August 23rd, come to the Los Angeles LGBT Center on McCadden, and you'll get to see the show that I've been so blessed to be a part of for the past 3 years, called Swallow.
You're part of a show called Swallow.
Yes, I am.
Have you ever been swallowed up?
Swallowed. I actually have.
I have too.
I have been, yes. Swallowed whole. Yes.
I highly recommend, for anybody who's never been swallowed up, I highly recommend it.
It's been too long.
It will clear your sinuses. When I tell you that...
everything is just brighter.
It's not politically correct to say this, but you guys know I'd rather be accurate and honest and impactful than to pander to sensibilities that are unreasonable.
Yeah.
And I will say this. Sometimes we need therapy, sometimes we need clear communication, and sometimes you just need your back cracked. And so there have been times where I've tried to talk it out, I've tried to talk to my counselor, and then somebody's son came and cracked my back, and that's actually what I needed instead.
It's time for me. I'm just going to say that.
Okay, I highly recommend
now.
Sexual Healing is not just a Marvin Gaye song. All right, for those of you who have been listening this long, I'm going to do a little trick at the end of every episode. We're going to do a phrase that we want people who are watching in the comment section to say to prove that they've gotten to this point. Hold on for a second. John, we're on air, so just come in, my love. We're wrapping up. That's our next guest. So... the word I'm going to say is John finally showed up. If you can write down John finally showed up, how perfect is that?
Finally.
We'll know that you got this far at the episode. If you want to sign up for my emotional intelligence class, please find fall25.eventbrite.com. Read all about it. There's an explanation what the class is.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
And this is the last class of 2025. So if you want to work with me, and it's live. It's not an audio or video. It's me live every Wednesday for 2 hours. Dexter, you're invited if you want to join us. It's fun. Mike has done it a lot. At my birthday, everybody was talking about doing it. Remember?
Oh, yeah. We did.
Everybody at my birthday was talking about how they took the emotional intelligence class. And it's fall25.eventbrite.com. And guys, I am on Twitter, Instagram, and now TikTok. On TikTok, it is Blue Telusma. Everywhere else, it is Blue Centric. All right? Until next time, Dexter, I love you so much. You have to come back.
I really do.
Monday.
I love you too.
Start thinking about what you want to talk about on Monday. All right, guys.
We're going to have something.
We have another show that I have to take.
It's probably going to be Love Island
so
again.
I have to go. So I have to save the next show. But as usual, please be gentle with yourselves and be kind to each other. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.